In ancient Kemet, Egypt, people aged 35 to 40 were typically fully trained adults in their working prime, not primary trainees. Formal education, apprenticeship, and military induction focused on children and youths, often starting around ages 5 to 10 or in the late teens, after which adults applied, maintained, and refined skills under hierarchical discipline tied to ma'at, order, truth, balance, profession, and state temple authority. There was no special age 35 to 40 training program. By then, most were experienced scribes, soldiers, craftsmen, farmers, priests, or officials. Education and professional formation, mostly completed well before 35 to 40. Scribal and administrative training. Boys from suitable families, often sons of scribes, officials, or with patronage, entered schools attached to temples, the House of Life, per Ankh, or administrative centers around ages 5 to 10. Training lasted years, commonly 5 to 10 plus, emphasizing hieratic writing, mathematics, accounting, model letters, administrative formulas, memorization, and copying texts on ostraza or papyrus. Discipline was strict and hierarchical. Repetition, correction, and corporal punishment were normal. Texts famously note a boy's ear is on his back. He listens when he is beaten. Advanced or priestly paths could extend into the 20s. By 35 to 40, a competent scribe was a working professional supervising juniors, handling records, grain, law, or temple duties. Crafts and trades. Most lower and middle class boys finished basic learning and apprenticed to their fathers or masters by around 14, learning farming, masonry, metalwork, carpentry, etc. through direct practice. Adults continued refining skill on the job under masters or overseers. Girls, women, primarily domestic, household, textile, or for some elites, priestesses, temple-related skills learned from mothers. Formal schooling was rare and male-dominated. Moral and behavioral formation came from family, wisdom literature, e.g., instructions of Ptah-hotep, Kheti, satire of the trades, and daily hierarchy, respect elders, self-control, obedience, work ethic. Disrespect or idleness drew harsh correction. Military training and discipline. Military service involved conscripts, often peasants and professionals. Induction and basic training typically hit youths in the late teens, sometimes earlier roles as runners, stable hands. By 35 to 40, survivors were veterans or career soldiers. Recruits faced barracks life, registration, haircuts for uniformity, hard physical conditioning, running, carrying loads, weights, wrestling, boxing, weapon drills, spears, bows, shields, later khopesh, etc., formation work, and for elites, chariotry, more specialized skills. New Kingdom professionalization increased emphasis on standing forces, equipment, and ongoing readiness. Discipline was brutal by modern standards. Beatings for infractions, including thrashings that left men skinned or wounded, strict obedience, risk of punishment for desertion, family liability in some accounts, and hierarchical command. Texts, e.g. Anastasi papyri, describe the soldier's life as harsh. Confinement, blows, heavy marching loads, poor conditions, contrasted with the easier scribal path in propaganda. Officers and elites received better training and rewards, booty, land, promotions. Physical sports and drills built endurance useful for campaigns. Adult soldiers, including those in their 30s to 40s, maintained readiness through drills, garrison duty, campaigns, and logistics. Conscripts might serve periods, then return to civilian life but remain liable. Professionals stayed longer. Adult life at 35 to 40, application, hierarchy, and ongoing order. At that age, people operated inside rigid social and professional structures. Scribes, officials enforced records and administration. Soldiers, garrison troops followed command and trained juniors. Artisans, farmers, and laborers worked under overseers with production quotas and penalties for failure. Priests and temple staff followed ritual purity and duty cycles. Family and community reinforced ma'at. Elders disciplined juniors. Status, titles, and rewards or punishments maintained order. Corporal punishment, public shaming, or loss of position remained tools across society. Evidence comes mainly from school ostraca and papyri, wisdom texts, tomb scenes, wrestling, drills, punishments, military reliefs, and biographical inscriptions, not modern age-graded curricula. Life expectancy and physical demands meant 35 to 40 was often peak productive years for survivors of childhood disease, labor, or campaigns. Training was practical and hierarchical from youth. Adulthood was about execution under authority. not starting over.